Real quick before this video starts, I do have a World of Tanks best replays, and I have posted my first video already last Tuesday. If you would like the possibility of your mastery gameplay or whatever your great game, send it to me, burningpeak30@gmail.com. I will leave it also in the link description below. Send me your replay, and you may see it in the next video I make on best replays. Thanks. Hello there, World of Tankers. I am Blitz, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Now, this is the M60 American Tier 10 Premium Medium Tank. It's not really a premium because it doesn't earn credits, but it's pretty much just a collector type vehicle that you can get. Now, this vehicle is not in the store, however, it has been popping up as a special offer. I'm not sure how much money it costs, but my friend did pick it up. And I am making this video just to talk about the tank, the armor, and let you know about it. Now, I already do have a video on this tank, however, I am going to get rid of that video after this video has been posted, because it was, I think, the first video I actually made on this channel, and it was terrible, very bad audio. You could barely even hear me talk. I didn't have a microphone. So I am going to take down that video. If you have seen it, well, welcome to the cringe, but if you haven't, that is good on my part, as you are going to be seeing the better version. So starting off, I'm going to go over the statistics, and as well as the armor, and then how to run this vehicle, and as well as how to take it out. Now, this tank has a total of 1900 hit points, and I do run the hit point buff, which makes you actually have about the same hit points as a tier 10 heavy, being 2015. The view range on this vehicle is 313, which is very, very nice. You can outspot most tanks that you're fighting. And the damage per minute on this tank is also very good at 3,239. Now, if you're running calibrated like I do, that brings your damage per minute down to 3,013. However, it brings your standard penetration up from 250 to 263, and your heat pen, which is normally 300 up to 330, which makes it very easy to penetrate, like the turret of an E100 or a side-scraping Jagdpanzer, stuff like that. Now, the average damage on this tank is 350 with a shell velocity of 1500, which is insanely quick. Your heat rounds still only go about 1173, but that is still insanely quick for a heat round. This tank has a very nice gun. The reload time is only 7 seconds, as you can see here. When running gun rammer, however, it does make your reload 6.5, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Now, the aiming time is only 1.63 seconds, which is very, very nice. And dispersion factors are also very good while moving. Now, one of the big selling points for this tank is it has 10 degrees of gun depression, which is very nice indeed. And with this very strong turret, which I will get into, it can pretty much bounce 90% of the shells fired at it. It also has 20 degrees of gun elevation, which also is very nice. The same as the T95E6 in those characteristics. And the turret traverse speed is 51 degrees a second, which is also very quick. And add that with the 46.27 degrees it turns on traverse, this tank in total turns about 97 degrees a second, which means you can shoot somebody completely opposite side to you within 2 seconds. So that is very good. The engine power is also pretty good at 25.47 effective power to weight ratio, so it is actually a very nice power to weight ratio. One of the big issues with this tank, however, is the concealment at only being 15.2%. Comparing that to, what was it, the tank I did last was the T95E6 that had a better concealment, if I do remember that correctly. But you can still see we managed to pick up 4,074 damage this game, and I did go negative in credits, as you can see, so it does not earn any bonus credits. I think it's actually one of the least earning credit tanks in the game. I do have the list. If you'd like to know, I'll put it down in the comments. You can see we did 4,000 damage. Only a Mark II on the Mastery, because this tank has just come out again, so people are doing better in it. But you can see 12 shells fired. Every single one did hit, except for that shell that went into that E100's tracks, but it still counts as hitting, so that is meaning this gun is very accurate. But let's get stuck into that armor. Now, this replay was sent in by Oops, I Killed You, and he is going to be illustrating the tank's capabilities. And while that happens, I'm going to show the armor. Now, frontally, this tank does not look very thick. This is an E50M aiming at it. You can see the upper plate is a very easy penetration, and the lower plate is only about 146, upper being about 210. However, you can see that turret is very troll looking. It is the same turret as a M48 Patton. Now, you do have a cupola on the turret, but it's only about 88 to 114 thick. So if you are a tank destroyer or like a Chieftain Mark 6, you can actually load Hesh on that. Do keep that in mind. But the big thing on this tank is the 10 degrees gun depression. You can see as soon as I use that gun depression, that upper plate becomes an auto ricochet on any AP or APCR rounds. Heat is also going to have a very hard time penetrating, as it's about 370 thick on that upper plate when using that gun depression. And the turret is pretty much impenetrable as well. The gun mantlet's about 400 500 thick. The cheeks, however, are only about 220 thick, but they are very hard to hit. If you just wiggle the turret after you shoot as you back down that hill, it is going to be very, very good for you. Now, the side armor of this tank is not what you would call thick. It's about 90 to 100 thick on the sides, and the side of the turret's about 90 to 100 thick as well. And the rear of this tank is only bad at 25 to 50 thick, which is, standard for the Americans. So it's not a super heavily armored tank, but when you get this vehicle into a gun depression spot, it really works well. And you can see here, Oops, I Killed You is running this tank perfectly. He is putting it on mines. He didn't rush up the hill just yet. He is going to be using his gun depression and bam, just slamming shell after shell into these tanks, as that 121 just doesn't have enough gun depression and he can't really penetrate him. Again, he's just going to back up, use that gun depression, take a blind shot. We'll see if that penetrated. Yes, it did, and it's just such an accurate gun, too. You can see shell after shell just slams right in exactly where you aim. This is sort of like the Mark 6 of medium tanks. And again, another shell right into the side of that 121. Unfortunately, it does low roll him, but it still probably would not have killed him. And let's see if it does go right in. Yes, it does. This gun has excellent aiming time and gun handling, which is very nice. He's already managed to pick up 2,819 damage. So that is pretty good. And he is just being a little bit careful. They've still got a Jagdpanzer, and that 268 will be waiting. If he does try and cross, he has to be very careful. However, that dead AMX is actually causing some protection, because if you see, he can run right past that AMX, not even get spotted very easily, and he isn't even spotted, which I'm very surprised, because you'd think he would get spotted from that. He's going to load an HE, and boom, 439, and the WT is dead. And now there is this 268 Chaser, and he is going to put an APCR into him, and he's already managed to pick up 3,868 damage. And where is that 57? That 57 has not been spotted for a while. Last time we did see him, he was under him. There he is. He is spotted right there. He is going to push right after this 57, as he can pretty much survive the whole clip twice over. So he can easily take out this 57 heavy. Just wants to clear the Yag first, solidify his third kill. He's at 4,002 damage, and now he's jumping on the 57 heavy. One bounce, which is a little bit crazy. Two bounces. This 57 has bounced this guy twice, and he only penetrates one of his shells. That just shows you how broken this armor can be. And will he get the final kill? Yes, he will. 4 kills, 4,829 damage, and 2,000 blocked. Now that was a very nice game, and you can actually see he did 5.2 thousand because he took that blind shot on the 268. So in total he did very well. Now you can see he earned 74,000 credits, and you'd be like, huh, I thought you said this tank doesn't earn a lot of credits. Now if you actually go to detailed and look at the credits, he was running a credit booster, so that was one of the things. This tank only earned 88,000 with premium, and with all the ammo and other consumables used, it actually did lose credits almost. But he still would have come up about positive 30,000. But you can see this is just an excellent game portrayed by Oops, I Killed You. He did very well. 19 shells fired, only 18. I mean, all 18 did hit. Only one did miss, and only one of those also did not penetrate, which is very good. He did very well, and I give him credit. Thank you for sending me in that replay. I also do think the M60 looks very cool. I remember there was actually a time when you could put a camouflage on it. Unfortunately, you cannot do so anymore. But I will say one thing. If you do own an M48 patent, I really wouldn't suggest to pick up the M60 unless you're really trying to collect it. Now, if you get it offered for 50 bucks or less, I would say pick it up because that's a bargain. It's a tier 10. It costs you 75 bucks to go down a whole tier 10 line. But if you do own the patent and you're not really interested in a tank that plays exactly the same, almost the same armor, almost the same gun, I wouldn't really suggest to pick it up. But you know, if you really like mediums and you just want to give this tank a shot, I would say to pick it up. That is the end of my video, though. If you did like it, please leave a like and a comment down below telling me what you liked about it. Always subscribe, and thanks.